Okay, today we are going to learn about multiplying polynomials with monomials. And the most important rule that you need to keep in mind is the distributive rule. Distributive rule, which says if you're multiplying a monomial or a number to a polynomial, say b plus c, then you have to distribute the number or the monomial that you're multiplying to each of the terms inside the parentheses. So that would become a times b plus a times c. Okay, so how can you use the distributive rule when multiplying polynomials or monomials with polynomials? So let's try an example here. Let's say we have the monomial negative 3x times the polynomial 2x plus y minus 1. Okay, and to do this problem, you'll need to distribute the negative 3x to each of the terms inside the parentheses, like this. Okay, then that would then become negative 3x, first part is negative 3x times 2x. Let's actually put this in parentheses. It's always wise to put, whenever there are negative signs, to put them in parentheses. And plus negative 3x times y, so negative 3x times y. And then plus, I'm using plus here instead of a minus because I'm treating this as a plus negative 1. You don't actually need to do this. You can treat this as a minus 1. I'll do it both ways and see how it compares. So plus a negative 3x times a negative 1. Okay, or you can do this as minus a negative 3x times 1. Whichever one's more convenient for you. I think once math gets more complicated, it's simpler if you use this method. If you treat this negative as a sign that's attached to the term that follows, because sometimes you'll need to move this around, in which case we're not sure where the negative sign is going to go. So I got in the habit of doing this, but I think for now you can use this method as well if this is easier. So for the first part, you'll get negative 3 times 2, which is negative 6, and x times x, which is x squared. Plus, here we can't really combine anything, so we just leave it as is. Negative 3xy. Okay, let's just put these in parentheses. Plus the last part, negative 3 times the negative 1 is just positive 3. And x. And notice if we used this method down here, you'll get the same answer. 1 times negative 3 is just negative 3. And then if you're doing a minus negative 3x, it's the same thing as doing plus 3x. So you'll get the same answer doing it either way. Okay, so this is our resulting polynomial. Is there or are there any terms that we can simplify? And it turns out no, because they are all different terms. So this would be our answer. Okay, let's try another problem. So let's say I have the monomial 2x times the polynomial 3x minus 2 plus the monomial 6x times negative 2x plus 1. Okay, in this case, we have two terms or two big groups that are being multiplied together. Okay, so let's do each of these individually first. So for the first part, we have a monomial times a polynomial. So we'll need to distribute the monomial to each of the terms. And you'll get, for the first part, 2x times 3x. And then plus negative 2 times 2x. Or again, you can write this as simply just minus 2 times 2x. It's fine either ways. Plus 6x times a negative 2x plus 6x times 1. Okay, so for the first term, we get 3 times 2, which is 6, x times x, which is x squared. For the second term, we get negative 2 times 2, which is a negative 4, so minus 4x. And notice you'll get the same answer if you do it this way. Plus 6 times negative 2 is negative 12, x times x is x squared. And the last term, 6x times 1 is just 6x, plus 6x. Now, are there any terms that we can combine here? And it turns out, yes. We have these two terms that are like terms. We have these two terms that are like terms. So we combine these two. And you get 6x squared minus 12x squared. 6 minus 12 is negative 6x squared. And we combine these two. Negative 4 plus 6 is positive 2x. So this would be our answer.